does he do? He comes to you. If he has an opportunity, he comes to you. I think the thing you've got to remember is brokers want to trade with you, but they don't know what you want to do for the most part if you're a new trader, because you're not evidencing any confidence at all in what you're doing. So today I follow the yen. So I'm a spreader at heart, okay? I'm not doing anything in the yen bit, but I'm doing bonds against yen, all right? So if I have to pick out something to do, I'll be a 6 for 20. Are you at 7? Sell 2 at 7. 6 for 10, 6 for 10, all the time watching what's going on in the pit, okay? Now, if a broker wants to help you, he says, yeah, that guy's 6 for 10, and he goes to you. More importantly, how many have you noticed, you new traders, when you're in that pit, how ridiculous it is when you yell, 6 for 10, sell 10 at 7, and you can hear your voice, you know, God, you get embarrassed and all that other stuff. I don't get embarrassed anymore, but I did. When I first started trading, everybody thought I was bidding, if the number was 6, everybody thought I was bidding for 6, because I go, 6! And I hear my voice and I get nervous, okay? And I really wouldn't want to do it. No, 7 like that, and you get real quiet because you're embarrassed. If you have a reason for doing what you're doing, it's a little easier to be loud, okay? And if you're loud, we get into another concept. It enlarges the pit size that you trade in, okay? It enlarges the pit that you trade in. So, to summarize the idea of spreading, and I spent a lot of time on spreading, and I shouldn't have, but I feel strongly about it. If you're in a market and you don't know what to do, and you don't want to stand there like an idiot and go 6 bid at 7, 6 bid at 7, 6 bid at 7, and he has 20 to buy and he buys them from him because he's saying 20 at 7, sell 20 at 7, and he has 10 to sell and he sells it to him because he says 6 for 10, 6 for 10. Come up with a reason for bidding and come up with a reason for offering. The easiest way to do it, without knowing a lot about everybody's position, is to do it against another market, okay? So if you're going to follow the yen as an example in the bond bid, and the yen breaks, become an aggressive bidder. Become a loud, aggressive bidder. 6 for 10, 6 for 20, 6 for 30, whatever. Now, once you get it, if you're a new trader, you may want to get rid of it, but at least you got the trade. And that's 3/4 of the battle. Getting a trade is 3/4 of the battle, not half the battle, okay? And you're an aggressive offer, so you're a spreader. One of the things you spread against is outside markets, you spread against the yen. What's another thing you spread against? You spread against the front month, okay? I see the big dogs up there, and I see Jay Nolan shoveling shit to the big dogs, okay? He saw them 100, 500, 500, 500, 500, 5 like that. I know it's just a matter of time before it's going to go 5 sellers. So what am I? Boy, at the very least, I'm an aggressive 6 seller. Now I'm spreading the front month against the front month. I'm spreading my bid against his bid. I'm offering 6s because he's selling 5s, okay? Now it's 5 bid at 6, but I'm offering 6s and I'm offering them aggressively. Now, why is that good? Why do you want to offer and bid aggressively? Because if somebody wants to help you, they're going to trade with you if you're bidding and offering aggressively. If you're not, they're not going to trade with you. Brokers want to help you because they feel guilty. They want to help you, but they don't know what to do. When you're an aggressive seller, they know what to do. I got 20 to buy, sold! Okay? They don't know what the market is. Or they do, and they're doing you a favor. Okay? Now you got that 20 at 6, and they've got all those 5s. They're bidding for them, and they're bidding for more. You know it's bullshit. Okay? You got your 20 at 6, and you wait for it to go 5 sellers. Okay? Or you bid 5. Now, you've sold 6s, guess what? You're an aggressive 5 bid. 5 bid, 5 bid, 5 bid. Okay? A broker wants to help you. He knows what he can do for you. He knows you want to do something. For you to be 5 bid at 6, 5 bid at 6, a broker has a 10 lot to buy. He doesn't want to stick you. He doesn't want to hurt you. He doesn't want to buy 10 at 6 from you if you don't know how to handle it. And he doesn't want to buy 10 at 6 from you if you don't want to sell it. If you're offering 6s, you're offering 6s because something happened in an outside market or something happened in your market. When you saw something transpire on the top step, or you saw something transpire in the middle month. So you become an aggressive offer or an aggressive bid. I have a note here. Brokers don't want to trade with losers. Everybody in here that's ever processed paper or brokered paper knows you don't like to stick a guy. Nobody likes to stick you. Okay? If you're 6 bid at 7, 6 bid at 7, and they sell you 10, and all of a sudden they go 6 sellers, and they see 5 and 5 and 5. They see you taking a loss. They don't want to trade with you anymore. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to be responsible for you losing. Okay? Brokers don't like to trade with losers. And they don't like to trade with people that don't evidence self-confidence. You've got to act like you want those 6s. You've got to act like you want to sell those 7s. Spreading. How does that come into play? I want to sell 7s because, not because I'm a genius, because I know that bonds are going to go down 2 ticks. I want to sell 7s because something transpired in another market that's going to weaken the bond, okay? It's going to weaken the bond market. So I'm an aggressive seller. If something happened in the yen, or oil, or in the commodities basket, or in the Dow, or I hear the note guys screaming, okay, or I see something transpiring in the top step, or I see something transpiring in the middle one, or in the back one, I want to be a seller. Now, I don't have to live with it. Sell 20 at 7. Sell 20 at 7. Forget that. 6 for 10. 6 for 10, okay? I don't have to live with it. But when I offer it with meaning and I offer it with vigor. So a guy, if he wants to, will trade with you. Now remember, you offer 20 at 7 and a big dog's loaded, okay? He's long. He may want to shut you up. Okay? He may want to buy your 7s, even though he's long at 6. Because he wants to shut you up. And there's some guys in the bond pit that made a tremendous living, you know, getting shut up on a regular basis by guys that don't want to scream, okay? If you're allowed a trader, everybody in the time knows that. Yeah, we can tell you some stories about that, we won't. Everybody wants to trade with you if you want to trade. If you go to a pit and you want to trade, people want to trade with you. But if you don't know what you want to do, they don't want to trade with you. And if you're 6 bid at 7, 6 bid at 7, they don't know what the hell you want, okay? So you've got to have a reason for offering it and a reason for bidding for it. Okay, the concept of your personal bid size. My bid size when I'm 6 bid at 7, 6 bid at 7 is about this big, okay? And somebody says, say it 2 at 6, okay? Okay. 88 or 8706, I bought 2. What's your house? What's your brokerage firm? And you write that down on the card, and that's how you lose, okay? You write that down, okay? Now, starts to go 6 sellers. So, you go, so you want 6, not so you want 6, because these are my buddies, okay? Now, I bought 2 at 6, and I sold you 1, and I sold you 1. My bid size is still this big, okay? I haven't done anything to enhance my bid size. You want to make more money, you trade in a larger pit. How large a pit can you trade in? You trade in a pit that goes from that corner all the way around to that corner. There's only one way to do that, and that's to be loud. Okay, it's not necessarily to be obnoxious, but that's to be loud. You're 6 for 10, 6 for 10, 6 for 10. Somebody over there, say a 10. Asshole, occasionally it was good. Say a 10, okay? Now you bought 10 at 6, okay? Now, God forbid it goes 6 sellers and you didn't get a chance to get out. It's 5 bid for 150. But all of a sudden, there's a pretty good 6 offer. You're long 10 at 6. It's time for you to take your loss, okay? So it's time for you to take your loss. If I do this, 5 at 5, what have I done to enhance my position in the pit? Absolutely nothing. What have I done to increase my pit size? Nothing. I'm an asshole. My pit's this big. I bought 10 at 6, and I lost $312.50. And this guy loves me, and this guy loves me because they got a little shot at making money, okay? What do? You're long 10 at 6. It's 6 sellers. It's time to sell. You pick somebody out and you sell them 10, and you do it loud. And you pick somebody out that can help you. You don't sell it to the guy next to you. You look around the pit, okay, and there's a broker bidding for 50. Tom Burke, let's say, from Repco. Say it 10 at 5, okay? You sell him 10 at 5. You put your name on the card. What was that card? Okay? You've just enlarged your pit size. Something right happens. He's got discretion. He's a broker. He's an idiot. He's bought 10 at 5. I'll buy 40 at 6. Okay, as soon as you get up, you say, geez, now I'm showing 40 at 6. And they're 500 off at 6, okay? Now you're 5 for 40, 5 for 40. You just increased your pit size. Okay, the 5 bid grows, the 6 offer gets small, you're short 40 at 6. It's time to cover. You look around the pit when you have time. You look around the pit and you say, who can I buy these 6s from? Who can I give the edge up to that would come back and make it worth my while? Justin, I'll buy 40 at 6. Justin Owen. I'll buy 40 at 6. So, later on in the day, after you bought that 40 at 6, you went 5 sellers, 4 sellers, 3 sellers, 2 sellers. Justin Owen thought you were taking a loss, but were nice enough to look him up and give him the 40 ticks, okay? Later in the day, it's 2 bid at 3. Everybody in the world wants to buy 2s. You want to buy 2s because the yen's breaking you. 2 for 10, 2 for 10, 2 for 10. Hey, say a 50. Thanks, Justin. Okay? It came back to help you because you enlarged your pit size. I can't emphasize this enough. Don't be a trader that has a small group of friends, okay, and you commiserate after work, and you say, God, we're not getting any trades, and whenever you get 2, he deserves 1, so you give him 1. Don't do that, okay? It's not fair to him, and it's not fair to you. When you trade with every corner of the pit, and when you take a loss, or when you take a profit, and we'll talk about that, okay? When it's time to take a loss and when it's time to take a profit. When you take a loss and you take a profit, take advantage of it. You have a position on it. When you have a position on, you use that to your advantage. You enlarge your pit. This is the most important part of the commodities business for the traders. When you get a trade, and you have to get out, and everybody has to get out of that trade sometime, okay, or else the clearing firm will get you out of it eventually. When you have to get out, take advantage of it, okay? Give it to somebody that can come back and help you. Now, I'm a broker. This is an open outcry bid. I've got 100 to sell. There are 50 guys that want to buy 5s. And there are 50 guys that want to sell 6s, okay? By the rules, I have 100 to sell. I don't have to say, sell under the 5. And the first guy to say sold gets them. Okay, I'm a broker and I spend the fairy dust on people. So you 20, sell you 20, sell you 20, sell you 20, sell you 20. And the customer gets the fill that he deserves, and the broker does his job. Now the broker has exercised judgment, okay? The broker has decided to spend the fairy dust on somebody because at some point in time, when that guy has a big position on, and this broker goes sellers into it, and his house expects it, he expects that guy to come back to him, to take him out when that guy has an opportunity to take out anybody in the place, okay? It goes both ways, all right? Enlarge the size of your pit, and do it by taking advantage of your position. And the way you take advantage of your position is, you know, you're long at 5, and it's time for you to get out at 5, get out with the right people. And make sure when you get out loud, okay? The alpha guys, God bless them, do a tremendous job of getting out. You know, the alpha guys buy 5s, 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 3, and they're out at 5, and they let everybody know. When they get out at 5, they don't go sell your 10. Sell 10 at 5! And 75 people try and tear their face off to get the trade, okay? But it helps them in the long run. Okay. This is why we're charging you $500 for this course, so I'm going to talk about it right now. Okay. I'm going to talk about transition trading. This all falls under the heading of how do I get trades? You get trades by being a transition trader. First of all, you get trades by being a spreader, okay? You're a spreader, you're trading against other markets, you're bidding with a reason to buy, you're offering with a reason to sell. This is when you don't have a position on and you're initiating a position, okay? You get trades by enlarging your pit. You finally get a trade on, and you take advantage of it, okay? Remember, for all the time you spend in that pit, there's probably 6 nanoseconds a day where you have a position on, okay? Good traders have a position on from the time the bell rings, so I was going to say from the time the bell rings at the end of the day, but there are some of us who are idiots that carry positions even past that last bell, okay? And we have them the next day. Good traders have positions on all day long. If I have a position on, if I'm long 105 and you're flat, and a broker says 6 for 10, who's going to win? Who's going to get to him first, you or me? I'll beat your ass. Because I have a position on it. Okay? I know what I want to do. I want to sell 6s. More realistically, if I'm short at 4, and a broker says 6 for 10, I'll beat your ass. Because I don't want you to get short at 6 trying to buy 5s, okay? If I have a position on, you can't believe how fast I get. If you have a position on, you can't believe how fast you get. You get smart and you get fast. But unfortunately, new traders have a position on about 6 nanoseconds a day, okay? So you're 6 for 1, and finally somebody says, sold! And before you can card it, sold 1 at 6! Oh, God, that was close. They could have done man sales. They could have done man sales. Well, I had that one on. Reagan could have died. Bush could have died. Think about it. All that stuff could have happened. The champs could have decided to sell their entire portfolio while I had it on, but I got out. Thank God. Now, 3.5 hours later, 2 for 1, sold, still 1 at 2, I'm out. Oh God, they could have done it again. Okay. Now, you want to have a position on all day long. You have a position on all day long because you bid with authority, you offer with authority, you enlarge the size of your pit, and you become a transition trader. What's a transition trader? Transition trading is a nice way of saying you steal trades until you become a trader. 95% of the guys in the bond pit, and probably 95% of all the guys in all the pits, steal trades, that's how they become traders. What does it mean to steal trades? And am I telling you should steal trades for a living? Absolutely not. What I'm telling you is you want to be absolutely involved in whatever happens in that pit. okay? And if it's 6 bid at 7, and it goes 6 sellers, ding, 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 there's an opportunity for profit, okay? When it's 6 bid at 7, 99 out of 100 times, you're not going to make a damn nickel by buying 6s and selling 7s, okay? It's 6 bid at 7. No one's going to sell you 6s and buy 7s from you because you're good looking, because you're a new trader. It just doesn't happen. You want to play, you got to get into the market any way you can. How do you get into the market? You become a transition trader. What's a transition trader? It's 6 bid at 7. Sell 506, say it 10. Okay? There were 10 bid for right there. Now, you sold him 10 at 6 because he wanted to sell 500. All right. Did he get filled? Absolutely. That's your 10. Now it's 6 sellers and you're short 10 at 6. Congratulations. You're in the market. You're playing. When you're in the market, you make money. When you're not in the market, you don't do anything. Okay? When you're in the market, you're playing. Transition trading is a very, very touchy subject. I am not telling you to go out and steal trades. Okay? But listen, this is the way the world is. 6 bid at 7. One of the big dogs says, sell 200 at 6, and you like it. Okay, you think it's a good idea, and he's bidding for 25. So, did he get his? He sure did. These are yours. Did he not get his? Hey, I'll buy 25. Ooh, an honest guy. Somebody like me appreciates that. You know, and believe me, they remember it forever. Say 25. Did he get yours? I'll buy 25. I'm off. Fuck you. Okay. A little later in the day, big shot. Sell 206, say 25. Hey, that's my market. Ooh, you were off last time. Remember that? Okay. What's fair is fair. It's a hard, hard life, okay? And it's a tough world out there. You want to be in the market. When the bid changes and the offer changes, you want to be in the market, okay? That's when the opportunity for money happens, when the bid changes and the offer changes. Okay, so you're there. You know what you want to do. You see 6s trading, you're an aggressive 7 seller. But by God, you're ready to go to 6, okay? Anything can trip your wire. So somebody says, sell at 6. And they want to sweep the market, okay? You help them sweep the market. You sell him his 25. You give him his 25 because he deserves it, because he was sweeping the market, okay? Guess what? Later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, that'll come back tenfold to you. More importantly, because that's esoteric, I think, more importantly, if he doesn't want it or he gets filled, that's yours. Now, here's another situation. 5 bid at 6. Sell 10 at 5. Sell 500 at 5, okay? The guy that sells 10 at 5, it's his market. You sell 25. Did he get filled? I never got my 10 lot. I'll buy 10. Hey, that's my market. I offered 500 at 5. Bullshit. He was first. He offered 10 at 5. It's your market. You're in. You're short 15 at 5 in the market where you want to be short. Because big dog wants to sell them, okay? Transition trading. That's how you get the trades, okay? Don't steal trades. Don't steal them. When the market changes, you be part of the action. Now, how are you part of the action? Okay, it's 6 bid at 7. Identify the 6 bids. Who's a 6 bid? How far is he from you? How far is he from you? Ideally, you're close enough to these guys where if it goes 6 sellers and he gets filled, the guy that turned to 6 sellers, you can get these, okay? Ideally. Now, remember, that's got to do with bid position too. If you're a broker and I'm here, okay, and he's standing next to you, and I know you're bidding for 25, and all of a sudden big dog says, sell 506. Say 25, okay? By the time I do that, the guy next to you has already grabbed it and said, sold. Okay, so proximity means something. The closer you are to a trader, the easier, or a broker, the easier it is to get a trade. Now, understand also what the positions are of the locals around you, okay? So, here's John Doe. He's short 10 at 7. You're an aggressive 7 seller. He's a lucky dog, okay? He's short 10 at 7. You're an aggressive 7 seller. And boom, 6 sellers, okay? You're offering him 6s because chances are he's going to take his profit. You're in the market. You're a transition trader. If he's short 10 at 7 and it goes 6 sellers, sell at 6, sell 500 at 6. Sell 500 at 6, okay? And he doesn't go, I'll buy 10, I'll buy 10. He's not doing that, okay? He's 5 for 10, 5 for 10, and then he goes 6 for 10, okay? It's your market. It's not anybody's market. It's anybody's market at that point in time. Do you understand me on that one? Okay? Now these are tough questions. I think the guys that trade in the market know that I feel pretty strongly about people that steal trades. Okay? And sometimes I get vocal about it. And I don't like it. I don't like when people steal trades. I think if you make a market, you ought to get filled up. And I think there are a couple guys in the market, when they make a market, they go sell it at 6. And that means if you're bidding for it or thinking about bidding for it, or your mother wants them, you know, buy it from me. There are an awful lot of guys in the market that go, sell it at 6! Boom, boom, you're trying to buy 500 from them, and they say, okay? Those are the guys you make a living on, if and when they become transition traders, okay? Or even when you get an opportunity to be a transition trader. Now, I think transition kind of cheap, Charlie. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? You want to get in the market, okay? And you want to get in the market and you want to do long at the bid or short at the offer. How do you do it? You're standing in the pit. Somebody says, sell it at 6. Sell 300 at 6. Justin Nolan says, sell 300 at 6, and they're 125 bid, okay? So, he's selling this 25. You give the 25 to Justin. I promise you it will come back to you. It'll come back to you, okay? Not only that, you've done a trade. Now, remember this. There are a lot of people in a lot of pits that lose money, okay? And there are a lot of people that try and turn it sellers when they're never going to turn it sellers. They're trying to turn it bid when they're never going to turn it bid. So don't get in a position where every time somebody says, sell 106, okay? And you know everybody's sold 7s, just because they're doing it, say 25, because the first thing you'd be doing is buying 25 at 7, okay? Don't do that. When you're a transition trader, you're a transition trader because you're saying in your mind, I want to be a 7 seller. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'll be a 6 seller because I want to be short at 6, okay? I can't tell you how important it is, and I can't tell you how it changes your life. When you're a new trader and you're standing in the pit, you don't have a position on it. You're looking at the tiles in the ceiling. You're like me when I started out. My God, they've got microphones in the ceiling. And I'd stand there and look at them. And I'd look at his and think, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. You know, the guy next to me, 6 for 100, 107, 600. And I wouldn't even know what he was talking about. Wouldn't even care because look at the people in the visitors gallery. They're Amish. I do that a lot. Amish people cost me a lot of money. They're interested. Wow, look at that. Okay. You want to be in the market. When it's 6 bid at 7 for 3 hours in any pit, I don't care how strong you are mentally, it's tough to keep involved. Okay, but if it's 6 bid, 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, 4 bid, 5 bid, 6 bid, sell at 6, sell at 5, 6 bid, 7 bid, 8 bid, 10 bid, Charlie's going 14 bid to cover his shorts. Okay, that's fun, right? That's fun. But it's not fun if you're, it's 6, oh, it's 5, oh, it's 4, oh, it's 6 bid, oh boy, this is great. You go home, hey, I was working, it was incredible. It was 6 sellers and 5 sellers. That's no good. You want to play. How do you play? You play by being a transition trader. You want to be a 7 seller, it's a light 6 bid. Justin says, sell 206, say 25, I'll buy 25. I'm okay. I'm short 25 at 6. Hey, that's the biggest trade I ever had. Do I want to be short at 6? Sure, it's 5 sellers. Okay, now, we'll talk about taking profit later. Okay, transition trading. I'll tell you how to buy those 5s. Transition trading. Gentleman stealing, okay? That's how you trade. That's how you get in fast. And that's how you keep your interest peaked. And remember, if you have a position on it, I guarantee you, you're not going to believe how fast and how smart you are. Okay? If I don't have a position on it, oh, maybe not me because I'm stupid, okay? But if somebody doesn't have a position on it, and the broker says, say 10-6, before you go sold, you go 10-6. Who's offering those 7s? Well, I want to be along at 6. What's that end doing? What are those guys over in the new pit doing? Do I want to be along at 6? What do I think about this number coming out next Wednesday? Do I want to be along at 6? You've got 17 variables you got to think about. Do I want to be along at 6? Okay, if you're short 10 at 7, you can't imagine how fast you say sold. If you're an aggressive bidder because another market is doing something, the yen's breaking, you can't imagine, and a 6 is a half edge, you can't imagine how fast you are. So, okay? All of a sudden, you get fast. You get fast. I used to go home at night. There was a kid in the bottom named Jeff Havens. Jeff is no longer with us because Jeff let his losses run too far, and we'll talk about that, okay? But Jeff was the fastest human being in the commodities business, and I've seen them all. He was the fastest. He was faster than Henry Shackney. He was faster than Bobby Goldberg. He was faster than Johnny Bissell. He was the fastest man I ever saw. And I always went home at night and I'd say, you know, I can be a commodities trader. I think I can make money, except there's this guy. Jeff Abrams and Jesus, is he fast? Every time they offer it, he spies. Every time they bid it, he sells it. And he's fast, and he spreads it, he scalps, and he does everything, and he's so fast. And I'll be standing next to him, and I'll say to myself, and I'll tell my wife this, I know I want to buy 6s. I know I want to buy 6s. And he'll be short at 7. And the broker will sell 50 at 6. And we'll both go, sold! And he beat me every time because he had a position on. When you have a position on, you get fast. You get fast and real fast, okay? I don't think I want to say anything more about the trades, other than that was good. Okay, does everybody understand the concept of transition trading? Does anybody have any questions about it? Does anybody have any questions about the concept of bidding and offering against another market? Does anybody have any questions about taking advantage of your pit and enlarging your pit size? Okay. One other thing. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Brokers want to trade with people that aren't losers, and they want to trade with people that sound like they're making money, that sound confident. How do you sound confident? A kind of an interesting test is you're at home and you're alone. And you say 6 for 10, and you say a little louder, 6 for 10, 6 for 10, 6 for 10, and you yell it, okay? Are you yelling it in such a manner that it doesn't sound like you're dying, that it doesn't sound like you're scared to death, that it doesn't sound like you're not scared but really are scared, that's why you don't sound like you're scared? As an example, a lot of guys I know talk like this, and if they increase their decibel level, they talk like this and talk like this and talk like this, and they go 6 for 10, 6 for 10. But because they're unsure of themselves and uncomfortable and everything else, when it's time for them to bid, they go 6 for 10. And you've all heard that in the pit. It's kind of a cute trick when you're starting out, because people go, hey, whose voice is that? Okay? After a while, they think you're an idiot, and they think you're unsure of yourself. One thing you want to practice is getting your decibel level up. And let me tell you something, there's nothing more important than a big decibel level, I think, in terms of enlarging your pit size, other than trading humongous size. Get your decibel level up by practicing. You talk in a speaking voice and bring that speaking voice up. Because you don't want to put strange inflections in your voice whenever you bid. And one thing you don't want to do when you're bidding 6, 10, you listen to yourself and you're embarrassed and you go, oh, geez, golly. And you bid it once and then an hour later you bid it again because you were embarrassed the first time you did it. You want to get to the point, and this is a real good key to know when you're going to make money trading commodities. You make money trading commodities when you bid for it and offer it and you don't particularly hear yourself. Okay? When I offer it, I don't hear myself anymore. Sometimes I do. Last 4 days I heard myself. Last 4 days I couldn't believe what I heard as American. When you offer it, and you're not going, God, was that my voice? Like that, then you're a jerk. You're not going to make any money. Practice high decibel levels. We have a broker in the bond pit that stands on the pit on the other side of me. He's a 500-lot broker. He could stand there in an empty pit and scream at the top of his lungs, and I couldn't hear him on my side of the pit. I'll never, as long as I live, understand how I really got a deck as big as he did. But he did, okay? You've got to have a big decibel level. And there's got to be something in your voice that says, hey, I want to trade it. Part of it is, come on, try and hurt me. That's part of it. There are guys in our pit, there are guys in every pit that people trade with just because you want to hurt them. There's a guy in a bond pit named Dave Garland, some of you guys know, okay? Dave Garland doesn't say solid 6, he says solid 6! Fuck you, basically, okay? And if you have a chance, solid! You and I sold. Okay, and that's what he does. He's a confrontational trader, and that's how he gets his trades. He offers it in a confrontational manner. He gets a lot of trades. I don't believe in the confrontational approach, but I think what you have to do is you have to let people around you know what you want to do. You want to buy 6s, why do you want to buy 6s? Because you know they've been buying, or the whole pit's short at 7, or the whole pit's short at 8, or the whole pit's short at 5. You want to buy 6s. The outside markets tell you you want to buy 6s. So you say, I want to buy 6s, okay? And when you bid that, you say that with the inflection in your voice, or I want to sell 7s. And the inflection in your voice is confident and loud. Pete Besser's a bond trader. He's a great bond trader. He stands 3 steps down, and his pit goes from corner to corner to corner because everybody can hear Pete. And by God, those brokers say, I want to trade with Pete because he bids and offers all day long. Now, Peter We had a fast cash stream. Does everybody know about the cash stream in the bond bid? Just for the guys that trade bonds, everybody understands the cash stream in the bond bid. You've got to understand it, okay? It's a screen in the corner like this. And it has 20 different issues. And the issue we look at is way down here in the right-hand corner. It's a long bond, okay? And it has a bid on a long bond and an offer. And when somebody in the cash market says, I'll take that offer, which is bullish for bonds, okay, you see a TAK for take. Or if somebody says, I'll hit that bid, you see an HIT here, meaning they hit that bid. Now in the old days, when we had a fast screen, which reported that stuff almost instantaneously, guys like Pete Tesser made a living trading off the cash screen. Pete was 6 bid at 7, and they hit cash. Sell 10 at 7, sell 10 at 7, sell 10 at 7. And there was one lone 6 bid, because all the other 6 bids had been taken, and Pete would take it. Now, 6 sellers, and Pete was short at 6. He made a tremendous living.